शङ्करांश भूम शङ्करार्यपीठसद्गुरुन् शुद्धसत्त्वभासुरान् सुवर्त्मनीतभूसुरान् सर्वभूतसौख्यदान् क्षमाकरान् यतीश्वरान्
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् श्रीहरिं परमानन्दम् उपदेष्टारमीश्वरं व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तं नमाम्यहम् अपरोक्षानुभूतिर्वै प्रोक्षते मोक्षसिद्धये सद्भिरेव प्रयत्नेन वीक्षणीया मुहुर्मुहुः। So we are coming to the end of the Nididhyasana sadhanas, which were based on the Vedantic method, although the terms from the Yoga Shastra have been taken up. So here, so far we have seen all the steps leading to the final samadhi. So before that, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana. So after dhyana we have seen in the 123rd shloka. So in the 124th one, we have to take up the samadhi aspect. So ivaga shloka odivo, nirvikarataya.
निर्विकारतया कृत्या ब्रह्माकारतया पुनः वृत्तिविस्मरणं सम्यक् समाधिज्ञानसंज्ञकः। निर्विकारतया वृत्त्या, through changelessness of thought, brahmakartaya, through identification with the truth, punaha, again, vrittivismaranam, forgetfulness of all thoughts, mental activity, samyak, complete, samadhihi, samadhi, jnana sanyakaha, called knowledge.
So here the pinnacle, that is the sakshatkara, atma sakshatkara, which definitely requires a vritti, that is called a brahmakara vritti, and it is definitely a mental transformation, and the kind of focus, a very focused attention on the Brahma Swarupam as taught in the Vedantas is required here. And in the Yoga Shastra, it is called Samadhi. In the Vedanta also, the word Samadhi is used. So here, that's why the Acharya, in the Shloka itself, it clarifies, it is Jnana Sannakaha. It is of the nature of Aparoksha Jnana. So Nirvikarataya Vrittya. So the Vritti, the Brahmakara Vritti, which is to be generated, has to be freed from all worldly thoughts. Worldly, that is non-Atman. Vishaya, that is non-Atman aspect, should never be entertained in that vritti. Brahmakarataya punaha. So it has to be of the form of Brahman, which is Atman alone. Brahmakarataya punaha. Vritti vismaranam samyak. So vritti vismaranam means the thought that a person is actually sitting and generating this kind of a vritti, all that should be warded off. So it has to be only Kevala Brahma and Brahman alone, nothing else in that. So Vritti Vismaranam Samyake Samadhihi Jnana Sangakaha. So this is called Atma Jnana Samadhi. So in the commentary, the Acharya gives a lot of clarification. Atha Antyam Samadhi Rupam Panchadasham Angam Lakshayati Nirvikarataya iti. So now the last, that is the ultimate yoga sadhana, that is Nididhyasana sadhana, which is called Samadhi, which is called 15th one. So to begin with, he has stated before that in the shloka 100, shloka number 100, Tri Panchangani Ataha Bhakshiye Puroktasya hi Labdaye Taisya Sarvai Sada Karyam Nididhyasana Mevatu. So he had first made a claim that 15 angas, that is 15 limbs or 15 steps will be taught. And all that is now coming to an end here in this shloka 124. Nirvikarataya Vritya. So, Ata Antyam Samadhi-rupam Panchadashamangam Lakshayati Nirvikarataya iti. Nirvikarataya Vishaya Anusandhana Rahitataya Antakarana Vritya. So, Vishaya Anusandhana means Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These are the Vishayas, that is the objects, sense objects. So, any thought regarding the sense objects, any of the sense objects has to be carefully avoided. Rahitataya Antakarana Vritya. Punaha Anantarameva, immediately Brahmakarataya. So when this has been accomplished, the focus has to be on generating or contemplating on the Brahman which is there, which is other than the Anatma. So Atman is Brahman and the Anatma is the world. So when the Anatma vrittis are avoided, what ideally happens is the Brahmakara vritti or Atmakara vritti alone is recognized by the aspirant. Because he has known what is Brahman and what is the world, what is Atma and what is Anatma from Shravana, Manana and all that. So now his main focus is to, effort is to ward off the Anatma vritti, and the vritti that remains after warding off the Anatma vritti will be the Atmakara vritti alone, unless it is not sleep and all that. So, Punaha Anantarameva Brahmakarataya Yet Samyak Prapancha Samskara Rahitam. So it is to be a Prapancha Samskara Rahitam. That is, even in the way of samskaras, the sense objects or the world has to be avoided. Rahitam. Jyatra Dhyayakara Vritti Shunyam. So here, Jyatra Dhyayakara Vritti Shunyam is the Tripati. He is referring to the Tripati. Jyata is the aspirant. He has to now become a sort of extinct. So he has to wipe himself off. So that ego, that ahankara, which always is there, which thinks that I am an aspirant and I am doing this sadhana, that kind of thing also has to go. Yatra and Dheya. Dheya is definitely the Brahman or Atman, which is not different from him. So that's why when a Jyatru is accepted, the Dheya will be different. So in order that the Dheya is not different from the Jyata really, so the Jyata also has to go and the Dheya also has to go. Atma alone has to remain there. Jyata Dheya Karavritti Shunyam, Vritti Vismaranam. What that means is Advaita Ananusandhanam, so Samadhi. So Vritti Vismaranam is actually Advaita Ananusandhanam. That is non-contemplation or not giving room for Advaita is called the Vritti Shunyam, Vritti Vismaranam. That is called Samadhi, Panchadasham Angamigataha. This is a 15th link called Samadhi. So he raises a question based on this shloka, the wording of the shloka. Nano, Vritti Vismaranasya Ajnana Rupatvat, Katham Samadhitvam iti Ashankya. So the question is, when you say that the vritti has to be completely warded off or completely forgotten, or actually Vismaranam is actually forgotten literally, but here what it means is no thought that it is a vritti also, that also should not be there. So for that, the question is that kind of a situation will be ajnanam. Like for example, in the deep sleep state. So in the deep sleep state, when there is no vritti at all, and upon waking, he says that even though I slept happily, I did not know anything. So the vritti will be required wherever there has to be some perception. So there's no perception in the sleep. So that kind of situation is doubted here. So that's where the question is asked. Now, vritti vismaranasya ajnana rupatvate katham samadhitvam iti ashankya. So there is a shanka, there is a doubt. For that reply is brahmatmaikya bodha abhave kevala vritti vismaranasya tathatvepi na brahmajnana sahitasya tathatvam iti ashayena samadhim vishanashti. So here we can even think of some vritti vismaranam even in the waking state. Like for example, a person is very deeply engrossed in a musical concert, or he is listening to a musical performance. He is especially if he is also a musician and if he is very well versed in the art, then it's very likely that he loses himself. So in fact, even the singers also do that. They say that we lose ourselves when we start singing and we get into the thing in a very, very serious way. So this kind of thing can happen. But then all that cannot become samadhi. So he says, Brahmatmaikya bodha abhave kevala vritti-vismaranasya tathātveti. So when the Brahmatmaikya bodha that is not there, that kind of a vritti can be called vritti-vismaranam, that is ajnanam. Na brahma-jnana sahitasya tathatvam. But the vritti which is endowed with this Brahmatma Jnanam, then that is not Ajnanam. That is Jnanam alone. So that is a clarification he gives. Tatatvam iti ashayena samadhim vishinishti jnana sangnakaha iti. Jnanam iti sanna yasya sa jnana sangnakaha. This samadhi is called Jnana Samadhi. It is not Yoga Samadhi, it is Jnana Samadhi. Brahmakarataya spurana rupaha ityartaha. So why does he give that epithet Jnanam for this? In that vritti, in that samadhi, this Brahman alone shines. Brahmakarataya spuranasya ityartaha. Uttam cha samadhihi samvidutpattihi parajivaikatam prati. So he is citing a very rare Upanishad, Jabala Darshana Upanishad. This passage is also found in Annapurna Upanishad. So in these two Upanishads, this passage is found. In the time of at the time of Swami Vidyaranya, many minor Upanishads were already there in vogue. For example, when we see the Muktika Upanishad, which lists 108 Upanishads, many of these Upanishad names are found there. All the names of 108 Upanishads are found there in that Muktika Upanishad. And an Advaitin of the 17th century, Swami Upanishad Brahma Yogi, he has written a commentary on all the 108 Upanishads. It is available. And even before Vidyaranya Swami, two Advaitins by name Shankarananda and Narayana Ashrama, they have also written Deepikas. It cannot be considered a full-fledged Bhashyam, but it is a Deepika, a very somewhat detailed explanatory note on many Upanishads, which are different from the 10 Upanishads on which Bhagavad-pada has commented. So these many Upanishads were already available, and Swami Vidyaranya is citing from one of them. Samadhihi samvidutpattihi parajivaikatam prati. So what this passage means is, what samadhi, it's giving a kind of definition for samadhi. Samvidutpattihi parajivaikatam prati samvidutpattihi. That is, it has for its content the Brahmatmaika Jnanam, that is called Samvit. So Samvit is pure consciousness. So pure consciousness without the tinge of any worldly Shabdasparsha and all that is naturally Brahman. So in fact, we have some other Upanishads, like even the Kena Upanishad, saying that Pratibodha Viditam Matam Amritatum hi Vindate. So any vritti, even if it is if the content is any sense object, even that vritti is actually pure Brahman alone, but with that upadhi. So the aspirant can recognize that Brahman there, or pure consciousness Chaitanyam, Shraddha Chaitanyam there, by filtering out the upadhi portion. That is definitely a mental exercise, but then even that has been taught. So samadhihi samvidutpattihi parajivaikatam prati. So this for that he is giving this passage. Nirvikarataya vrittya brahmakarataya punaha vritti vismaranam samyake samadhi jnana sangnakaha. So now we have completed all the 15. Now the fruit of this nididhyasana will be explained in the sequence. Next word.
Imam cha kritrimanandam tavat sadhu samabhyaset Vashyo yavat kshanat pumsaha prayuktaha san bhavets vayam. Imam, this, cha, and akritrimanandam, blemishless bliss, tavat, so long, sadhu, perfectly, samabhyaset, should practice, vashyaha, under full control, yavat, till then, kshanat, in an instant, pumsaha, a person, prayuktaha, san, being called into action, bhavet, be, swayam, at will.
So this samadhi has to be practiced to such an extent that without much effort, the moment he desires to be in samadhi, to bring up this vritti, he should be able to do that. So that it has to be practiced to such an extent. So the sloka says, imam akritimam anandam. This ananda is akritima, that is, it is not artificial, it is natural ananda. It is not ananda which is generated by any sense contact. It is the natural state of the Atman. Akritimam anandam. Tavat sadhu samabhyase. It has to be practiced to such an extent that Vashyaha yavat kshanat pumsaha prayuktaha sambhavet swayam. So the moment a person decides to have this ananda, he will be able to get it. So that is the, in that way, this ananda is in the control of this person, in this aspirant, this jnani. So he doesn't have to take up a text or to contemplate upon a shloka or employ tarka and all that. The moment he thinks of it, he can get it. So this is a kind of mastery he has to. Angamidam nididhyasana muktam tadaha imamiti. So this 15-limbed nididhyasanam has been taught in order to achieve something. So that is the fruit of this practicing this 15-limbed nididhyasa sadhana. So what is that fruit that's being stated in the shloka? Akritimam anandam swarupa bhuta ananda avivyakam nididhyasanam ityarthaha. So this nididhyasanam proper, so this, the pinnacle of nididhyasanam is the experiencing of this swarupa ananda, akritrimam anandam, swarupa bhuta ananda. So it is of anatma. This ananda is swarupa ananda, swarupa bhuta ananda, abhivyanjakam. So this ananda is manifesting the Atma Swarupa, Swarupa Buddha Anandam. So Chakarat Yatha Buddhi Vedanta Vichara Rupam iti Spattamanyate. So in this shloka, in the beginning, we can see a particle cha, imam cha, akritam anandam. So that Chakara, what it conveys, the Acharya says, Yatha Buddhi Vedanta Vicharamapi Spattamanyate. So this Chakara conveys that Vedanta Vichara also can bring about this Ananda. So this Akritimam Ananda can be brought about by Vedanta Vichara also. Imam cha, that means this Ananda, which can be generated even from the Vedanta Vichara. Vedanta Vicharam, it is Spattam Anyate. So Spattam is what the rest of the shloka is quite clear, quite without much explanation, we can understand it. That's what he has said. So after this, we can go on to the 126th shloka. Tata sadhana nirmuktaha.
Tata sadhana nirmuktaha siddho bhavati yogirat tat swarupam na chaitasya vishayo manaso giram. Tataha, then sadhana nirmuktaha, free of all practices, siddhaha, perfect, bhavati, becomes yogirat, master of all yogis. Tatsvarupam, the nature of that person, na, not, cha, also, etasya, of this, vishayaha, object, manasaha, of the mind, giram, of speech.
So this state to the Siddha state. So in the Bhagavad Gita second chapter also, we have got the Sthita Prajna Lakshana, where also at the beginning the Bhagavad Pada says that the slokas in the sequel in the Bhagavad Gita there, after Arjuna has asked the question, will be of two types. One is the natural state of the jnani, and some slokas will be of the nature of the what practices that lead to the natural state of the jnani. So that is the kind of mixed teaching there that can be seen here also. So the Nididhyasanam practice is definitely for the person who has to become Siddha or the Jnani, Aparoksha Jnani. But then the state of the Jnani is being spoken of here, which will have to be a practice for the aspirant. So here, Tataha Sadhana Nirmuktaha Siddho Bhavati Yogirat. So a person, after he transcends or he accomplishes this state, from where the aspirant state has been transcended. So he is no longer an aspirant, but he is a accomplished, well-accomplished Aparoksha Jnani himself. Tataha sadhana nirmuktaha, without the need for any of these means, siddho bhavati yogirat. Tat swarupam na cha etasya vishayaha manasaha giram. That swarupam of this person will never become an object for any speech or mind. Yato vato nivartante. So that state is that Brahman swarupam is being stated here in this sloka. That is 126. Yeah. Yetam abhyasataha palamaha. So evam abhyasataha palamaha. What is the fruit of this for the person who has practiced it? Sadhana nirmuktaha. Sadhana abhyasa rahitaha ityarthaha. So without the need for the it need not be generated by any practice now any longer. Ityarthaha. Etasya yoginaha tad Vedanta prasiddham swarupam brahma iva iti bhavaha. So the swarupa of this aspirant now is, this aspirant who has now become a jnani is Brahman itself, which is known. Even the aspirant or even any ajnani also by swarupata he is Brahman alone. But then he has not known that, whereas the Siddha has known that in a direct means. That's called Aparoksha Jnana. So this Brahman is his Swarupa itself, and this Swarupa definitely will not be an object for any mind or speech. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. What is meant by mind is, it is not an object for any intellectual analysis or anything, nor can one put it in words also. So it is pure experience. Anybody's pure experience is that only. That's why even in the beginning of the Brahma Sutra Bhashya, Bhagavad Pada says, everybody naturally experiences that he is existent, and that of course he is a conscious entity. The only problem why the purpose of the Shastra is to show that person very clearly that there is no admixture in that experience. So what he experiences is actually the pure Swarupam itself, but he doesn't know that it is pure. But see, he thinks that he is body-mind complex also, along with that sentience. But then the Shastra clearly shows him the way to discriminate the Anatma, the Atma from the Anatma. For that only the Shastra is required, not for anything else. Bhagavad Pada has clarified that. So here also that the very core Swarupam of the Jnani is definitely what is something which is beyond mind or words. So next shloka 127.
Samadhau kriyamane tu vijnanyayanti vaibalat anusandhanarahityam alasyam bhogalalasa.
Next word again, layas.
Layastamascha vikshepo rasasvadascha shunyata evam yadvignya bahulyam tyajyam brahmavida shanaihi. Samadhau kriyamane, while practicing samadhi, tu and vignani, obstacles, ayanti, appear. Why? Indeed, balat, per force, anusandhana rahityam, lack of inquiry, alasyam, laziness or inertia, bhogalalasam, desire for enjoyment. Next, layaha, sleep, tamaha, dullness, cha, and vikshepaha, agitation or distraction, rasasvadaha, enjoying the joyful state, cha also, shunyata, blankness, evam, such, yet, which, vignabahulyam, multiplicity of obstacles, tyajyam, get rid of, Brahmavida, by the seeker of truth, Shanaihi, slowly.
So he is now listing a set of obstacles that are definitely experienced by an aspirant, and how a person has to get rid of them or avoid them or come out of them or grow above them. So here, this set is very popular in any Shastra, Yoga Shastra also, even in the Gaudapada Karika also, this kind of obstacles are stated, if not so many, at least 4 are stated there. Samadho kriyamanetu vignaha ayanti by balat. So when a person embarks upon the practice of samadhi, he will have to face many of these obstacles. Balat. So it is a universal feature. Nobody has risen to the pinnacle without going through this. So samadho kriyamanetu vignaha ayanti by balat. What was this vignas? He is listing them. Anusandhana rahityam, that is non-focusing on the Atman. Alasyam, that is laziness or being very, very inattentive. Bhogalalasam, that is desire for enjoying the sense objects. Layaha, that is a kind of sleep. Tamascha, so this is also a kind of dullness. Vikshepa is distraction. Rasaswadaha is the enthusiasm or the joy or the desire to enjoy the calm state. Then shunyata, then some blankness. So evam yad vigna bahulyam tyajyam brahmavida shanehi. So the brahmavid, that is the person who is on the path of becoming a brahman, becoming a brahmavid, he has to tackle them in a very, very informed way, with a lot of attention and focusing. And shanehi, it cannot be achieved in 1 day or 2 days. It has to be on a some definition or a kind of explanation to each of them. Moksha Palodayam, Samadhi Paryantaha, Yogaha, Guru Anugrahavatam, Sukara Asti, Sukaraha Asti, Tatapi, Sukaraha iti Anadaraha Nakaryam. So he says, Akandaikarasa Brahmaswarupatvena Avasthana Lakshana Moksha Paladaha Ayam Samadhi. This Samadhi will give the fruit of remaining or being established in Brahman, which is of the nature of Akanda Ekarasa Brahmaswarupa. So that kind of that is a fruit promised by the Vedanta Shastra when a person practices Nididhyasana. But then that Samadhi Paryantaha Yoga, that practice will become can be accomplished, or it can be taken to the logical end for those who are who have the grace of the Guru. That's what he says. Guru Anugrahavatam Sukara. It is without much difficulty they will get over these problems if the Guru Anugraha is there for them. Tatapi Sukaraha iti Anadaraha Nakarya. So even then, a person should never be complacent, saying that, okay, I have got Guru Anugraha, I can easily get over this. That kind of complacence is not, the Acharya wants that kind of complacence should not be given room to. Obstacles are, there is occasion for many of these obstacles to arise. Samadha vidi pratortaha. So in the next shloka, he is giving meaning of some of this. We will take this up in the next class. We can end the session here. Shastram Sharira Mimamsa Devastu Parameshwaraha Acharya Shankaracharya Shantume Janma Janmani Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tatvagnam Vidushekara Bharati Sri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham Aparokṣānubhūti prokṣate moksha siddhaye sadbhireva prayatnena vikshaniya muhurmuhu.